Hey Achievers, welcome to ACE Academy. So today we'll be looking at the current affairs of February 3rd, 2023. So without much delay, let's get into the first question. So the first question is, in which state Indian Army's exercise Topchi 2023, the annual firepower demonstration and training exercise was conducted by the School of Artillery in January 2023. So the options are option 1 Odisha, option 2 Rajasthan, option 3 West Bengal, option 4 Gujarat, option 5 Maharashtra. So the correct answer is option 5 Maharashtra. So now let's look at the explanation. Indian Army's exercise Topchi 2023, the annual firepower demonstration and training exercise was conducted by the School of Artillery at Devlali Field Firing Ranges in Devlali, Nasik, Maharashtra. The highlights of the exercise was that the display and the firing of indigenously manufactured, made in India artillery equipments. The event was conducted under the stewardship of Lieutenant Governor S. Hari Mohan Iyer, AVSM Commandant, School of Artillery, and the Colonel Commandant, Regiment of Artillery. The highlights of the exercise was displaying and firing by indigenously manufactured artillery equipments like K9, Vajra, Dhanush, Indian field gun, light field gun systems, and Pinaka multi-barrel rocket launchers. So now let's look at the second question. So the second question is, in January 2023, United States India Strategic Partnership Forum launched the Science, Technology, Engineering and Mathematics initiative to increase women in STEM education and workforce in India. Who is the current President and Chief Executive Officer of USISPF? So the options are Mukesh Aghi, Atish Mathur, Rajiv Kumar, Sanjeev Das, M.K. Yadav. So the correct answer is option 1, Mukesh Aghi. So now let's look at the explanation. So Mukesh Aghi is the President and the Chief Executive Officer of the United States India Strategic Partnership Forum, launched by the US-India Alliance for Women Economic Empowerment STEM initiative to increase the number of women in science, technology, engineering and mathematics education and workforce in India. The STEM initiative was launched during India-US Alliance Shatter Summit. So now let's look at the third question. So the third question is, according to the state of solar PV manufacturing in India, report by Mercom India Research released in January 2023, India's solar module manufacturing capacity will reach 95 gigawatts by which year? So the options are 2026, 2028, 2025, 2027, 2024. So the correct answer is option 3, 2025. So now let's look at the explanation. According to the state of solar PV manufacturing in India report by Mercom India Research, India's capacity to manufacture solar photovoltaic module exceeded 39 gigawatts by the end of the September 2022, and it is anticipated to reach 95 gigawatts by the end of the calendar year 2025. The report offers an in-depth analysis of the solar PV module manufacturing landscape in India. As of September 2022, had a solar cell manufacturing capacity around 4.5 gigawatts, which is predicted to rise 7-fold by the end of calendar year 2024. So now let's look at the fourth question. So the fourth question is, in January 2023, the Ministry of Law and Justice constituted a working committee under the chairmanship of Dash to draft rules and standards for implementation of provisions of Mediation Bill Act 2021 in India. So the options are Anirudh Garg, Sachin Sinde, Chawla, PK Malhotra, Sonam Agola. So the correct answer is option 4, PK Malhotra. So the Ministry of Law and Justice has constituted a working committee under the chairmanship of former Law Secretary PK Malhotra to draft the rules and standards for the implementation of provision of Mediation Bill or the Act 2021 in India. The committee will provide suggestion for setting various standards including certification, accreditation, grading, criteria, etc. for various stakeholders under the mediation bill. The committee would suggest a way for online conduct of mediation as per subordinate legislations. The committee will provide a roadmap regarding the implementation of the provision of mediation bill as well. So now let's look at the fifth question. So the fifth question is, Hardeep Singh Puri, Union Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas, has recently rededicated Sagar Samrat as a mobile offshore production unit. Sagar Samrat is a drilling rig of which company? So the options are Oil and Natural Gas Corporation, Indian Oil Corporation Limited, Hindustan Petroleum Limited, Bharat Petroleum Limited, Oil India Limited. So the correct answer is option 1, Oil and Natural Gas Corporation. So now let's look at the explanation. Hardeep Singh Puri, he is the Union Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas. He has rededicated Oil and Natural Gas Corporation iconic drilling rig Sagar Samrat as a mobile offshore production unit at a ceremony held in Sagar Samrat. The MOPU Sagar Samrat commenced production on 23rd December 2022 and is currently deployed at the Western Offshore 16 fields located 140 to 145 km west of Mumbai. The MOPU will handle up to 20,000 barrels per day of crude oil and is expected to add 6,000 barrels per day to India's net production. And the thing to note here is that Sagar Samrat commissioned in 1973 and it has almost 125 wells and has been involved with 14 key offshore oil and gas discoveries in India. So now let's look at the next question. So the sixth question is, according to the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Guidelines for Uplinking and Delinking of Television Channels in India 2022. TV channels should show at least dash of public broadcasting content every day. So the options are 70 minutes, 30 minutes, 50 minutes, 40 minutes, 60 minutes. So the correct answer is option 2, 30 minutes. So now let's look at the explanation. On 30th January 2023, the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting clarified that the topic of national importance and social relevance embedded in the programs broadcast by private TV channels would quantify their obligation under the guidelines for uplinking and delinking of the television channels in India 2022. The guidelines ask TV channel to show at least 30 minutes of public broadcasting content every day, 15 hours monthly, and submit a monthly report on broadcast Seva portal or on or before the 7th day of the following month. Foreign television channels downlinking in India and channel broadcasting predominantly more than 12 hours, sports, devotional, spiritual, and yoga content are exempted from providing the monthly reports. So now let's look at the next question. And one more thing to note here is that these norms will be effective from 31st March 2023. So now let's look at the next questions. The seventh question is, according to the Asia Pacific Overview of Food Security and Nutrition 2022, Urban Food Security and Nutrition report jointly released by UN agency in January 2023, an increasing number of people in Asia lack enough to eat as food insecurity rises with greater price and worsening poverty. Which of the following organization has jointly released the report along with the Food and Agriculture Organization? So the options are World Food Program, World Health Organization, United Nations Children Fund, both 1 and 2, all 1, 2 and 3. So the correct answer is option 5, all 1, 2 and 3. So now let's look at the explanation. According to a joint report by United Nations agency titled Asia Pacific Overview of Food Security and Nutrition 2022, urban food security and nutrition, an increasing number of people in Asia lack enough food to eat as food insecurity rises with greater price and worsening poverty. This joint flagship report is published by 4 specialized agencies of UN, the Food and Agriculture Organization, which is also known as FAO, United Nations Children Fund, UNICEF, and the World Food Program, WFP, and the World Health Organization, WHO. The report is the 5th annual assessment of the food insecurity and hunger by United Nations agencies. According to the report, about a half billion people were undernourished in 2021, with more than 8 in 10 of them in South Asia, and more than 1 billion experienced moderate to severe food insecurity. Since the Taliban takeover of Afghanistan in August 2021, its economy has collapsed, leaving 70% of the population with moderate to severe food insecurity. In Cambodia, half of the population suffers from moderate to severe food insecurity. So now let's look at the next question. So the 8th question is, which company has recently emerged as India's first payment gateway player to process central bank digital currency, which is also known as CBDC, or digital rupee e-rupee transaction for online retail merchants? So the options are Cash Free, CC Avenue, Razorpay, Worldline, ePayment India, 9 Hearts. So the correct answer is option 2, CC Avenue. So now let's look at the explanation. CC Avenue, the premier payment brand of Infibeam Avenues Limited, has emerged as India's first payment gateway player to process central bank digital currency, which is also known as digital rupee transaction for online retail merchants. The central bank digital currency is a robust, efficient, and trusted and legal tender based on real-time payment option. So now let's look at the next question. Name the bank that has recently partnered with ToneTag to launch the central digital currency payment. So the options are Yes Bank, Axis Bank, ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, IDFC First Bank. So the correct answer is option 5, IDFC First Bank. So IDFC First Bank has partnered with ToneTag, world's largest provider of audio-based solutions, in order to facilitate the acceptance of digital rupees at merchant outlets. This collaboration comes after the pilot launch of central bank's digital currency for retail users by Reserve Bank of India. The RBI has identified 8 banks for phased participation in central bank digital currency retail pilot projects. So the initial phase covers 4 banks in Mumbai, Maharashtra, New Delhi, Bangalore, Karnataka, Odisha. So the banks are State Bank of India, ICICI Bank, Yes Bank, and IDFC Bank. So now let's look at the next question. So the 10th question is, according to the data from Reserve Bank of India, there was an increase in the number of micro automated teller machines installed all over India in 2022, while no major increase in value of money withdrawn through ATMs. How many micro ATMs are operating across India as of December 2022? So the options are option 1, 20.21 lakhs, option 2, 11.78 lakhs, option 3, 14.19 lakh, option 4, 10.56 lakh, option 5, 13.27 lakh. So the correct answer is option 3, 14.19 lakh. According to the data from RBI, there was a sharp increase in the number of micro automated teller machines, that is ATMs, installed all over India in 2022. However, no major increase in value of money withdrawn through these banks have been occurred since June 2022. As of December, there were 14.19 lakh crore micro ATMs operating across India. Meanwhile, in December 2020, cash withdrawn amounted to 19.67 lakh crore. It was 25.2 lakh crore in December, and it has grown to just 25.5 lakh crore by November 2020, when the number of micro ATMs was at 13.3 lakhs. So now let's look at the next question. So the 11th question is, which insurance company has recently launched pay as you drive vehicle insurance policy to offer premiums based on the usage of vehicle? So the options are Royal Sundaram General Insurance Company, Bajaj Alliance Life Insurance Company, Aditya Birla Health Insurance Company, Star Health and Allied Insurance Company, New India Assurance Company. So the correct answer is option 5, New India Assurance Company. So now let's look at the next question. So now let's look at the explanation. New India Assurance has launched its pay as you drive vehicle insurance policy to offer premium based on the usage of the vehicle. Usage based income are also known as pay as you drive, pay up you drive, and mile based auto insurance is a type of vehicle insurance whereby the costs are dependent upon the type of vehicle used, measured against time, distance, behavior and place. So the features of pay as you drive include discount on renewals, coverage beyond the distance limit, enhanced protection such as zero depreciation, roadside assistance, engine protection, return to invoice, and so on. So now let's look at the next question. So the 12th question is, in January 2023, the International Monetary Fund projected India's growth to decline from 6.8% in 2022 to dash in 2023. So the options are 6.2%, 5.9%, 6.5%, 6.1%, 6.4%. So the correct answer is option 4. 6.1%. So the explanation is, the International Monetary Fund in its World Economic Outlook. So it is a report that has been released by International Monetary Fund. It was released on January 2023. Update has projected India's growth to decline from 6.8% in 2022 to 6.1% in 2023 before picking up pace to 6.8% in 2024. The expected slowdown in financial year 24 is due to external factors like depression and all. So the global growth is projected to fall from an estimated 3.4% in 2022 to 2.9% in 2023, then rise to 3.1% in 2024. The global growth projected for 2023 and 2024 is below the historical annual average of 3.8. The global inflation will decline from 8.8% in 2022 to 6.6% in 2023 and 4.3% in 2024, above the pre-pandemic levels of about 3.5%. The world rate growth is expected to decline in 2023 to 2.4% despite an easing of supply bottlenecks before rising to 3.4% in 2024. So now let's look at the next question. So the 13th question is, which of the following points are correct with respect to the best marching contingents and tabulex of Republic Day Parade 2023 announced by Ministry of Defence in January 2023. So the first point is, Madhya Pradesh was selected as the best state tabulex by a panel of judges with the theme of Sade Thin, Sakti Pite, and Nari Shakti. So the second point is Gujarat won the best state tablex under online poll on MyGov category with the theme Clean Green Energy Efficient Gujarat. Central Reserve Police Force marching contingent was declared as the best marching contingent among the Central Armed Police Force and other auxiliary forces under both the categories. So the options are only A and B, only B and C, only A and C, all A, B and C. So the correct answer is option 3. Only B and C are correct. So now let's look at the explanation. The Ministry of Defence announced the best marching contingent and tableaux of Republic Day parade in two separate results, one selected by three-member expert committee of Ministry of Defence and the other through an online public vote conducted by MyGov platform. A total of 23 tableaux, 17 from states and union territories and 6 from various ministries and departments participated in the Republic Day parade 2023. The panel has declared Uttarakhand tableaux featuring the Manaskand as the winner of the first prize under the best tableaux of state or union territories. Maharashtra's tableaux with the theme Sade Teen Shakti Pite and Nari Shakti and Uttar Pradesh tableaux featuring 3-day Deepotsav won second and third prize respectively. As per the online poll results, Gujarat tableaux with a theme Clean Green Energy Efficient Gujarat was declared the winner of the first prize, while UP and Maharashtra won the second and third prize respectively. The Central Reserve Police Force marching contingent was declared as the best marching contingent among the Central Armed Police Forces and other auxiliary forces under both categories. So now let's look at the next question. So the 14th question is, who has recently appointed as the brand ambassador of Puma India? So the options are option 1 Neeraj Chopra, option 2 Harmanpreet Kaur, option 3 PV Sindhu, option 4 Nikhat Zareen and option 5 Vinish Phogat. So the correct answer is option 2 Harmanpreet Kaur. So Puma India, one of the largest sportswear brand, has roped in Indian women cricket team captain Harmanpreet Kaur as its brand ambassador as a part of Puma India's commitment towards women's business, particularly in sports segment in India. As a brand ambassador, Harmanpreet will endorse the brand's footwear, apparel and accessories throughout the year. About Harmanpreet Kaur, she won the ICC Player of the Month award in ODI series in England in 2022. Harmanpreet Kaur was also conferred with the Arjuna Award in 2017 for cricket. So now let's look at the next question. Name the personality who has recently appointed as the Chief Executive Officer of Unilever with effect from 1st July 2023. So the options are Hihin Schumacher, Alan Jope, Connie Brahms, Hanneke Faber, Sanjeev Mehta. So the correct answer is option 1, Hihin Schumacher. So now let's look at the explanation. Unilever, the British multinational consumer goods company, appointed Heinz Schumacher as its next chief executive officer, replacing Alan Jope, who announced his intention to retire from Unilever after a strategy mishap frustrated investors, including the Nelson Pleats. So Heinz Schumacher is the CEO of Royal Friesland Campina, a Dutch multinational dairy cooperative based in Amersfoort, Netherlands. He will take over as the CEO of Unilever on 1st July 2023 following a 1-month handover. So now let's look at the next question. So the 16th question is, who was recently appointed as Morgan Stanley's new country head for India? So the options are, the first option is Shyam Sundar Gurumurthy. So the second option is Gokul Laroria, and the third option is Sanjay Sham, and the fourth option is Nirav Mehta, and the fifth option is Arun Kohli. So the correct answer is option 5, Arun Kohli. So the explanation for this is Morgan Stanley appointed Arun Kohli as the new country head for India to replace Sanjay Shah as the veteran of 26 years at the firm, who will be retiring from the service. Presently, Arun Kohli is a veteran in the field of investment banking, serving as Morgan Stanley's managing director and the chief operating officer for Europe, Middle East, and Africa region. So now let's look at the next question. So the 17th question is, name the drone startup company that has recently showcased India's first drone with parachute integrated system. So the options are Eminent Air Private Limited, Drone Acharya Private Limited, IoTech World Private Limited, Skylark Drones Private Limited, Endure Air Private Limited. So the correct answer is option 1, Eminent Air Private Limited. So now let's look at the explanation. So Eminent Air Private Limited, a New Delhi based drone startup, showcased India's first one of its kind drone with parachute integrated system as a part of an event to mark the inaugural flight. The inaugural flight was a part of live demonstration to highlight the drone's capabilities and features. The custom designed UAVs, unarmed vehicles have a maximum takeoff weight of 35 kg and can travel more than 60 kilometers in 60 minutes. During single mission, depending on the load, the UAV's performance is inversely proportional to its weight it carries. The drone with parachute integrated system ensures safe and dependable delivery of items and eliminates any potential risk during operation. So now let's look at the next question. So the 18th question is, in January 2023, India won first ICC Under 19 Women's T20 World Cup 2023 by defeating which countries? The options are New Zealand, Australia, England, West Indies, South Africa. So the correct answer is option 3, England. India won its first ICC Under 19 Women's T20 World Cup by defeating England with 7 wickets. The Indian team was captained by Shafali Verma. It was first edition of ICC Women's Under 19 Cricket World Cup and it was hosted by South Africa from 14th January to 29th January 2023. With this, India became the first title holder of ICC Women's Under 19 Cricket World Cup. This is also India's first World Cup win in women's section. The matches were held in Absa Oval and Shenways Park in Potchefstroom and Wilmore Park in Benoni, South Africa. So now let's look at the next question. And the important thing to note here is that the Board of Control for Cricket in India Secretary Jay Shah has announced a prize money worth of 5 crore for Indian Under 19 women's team. So the 19th question is, when was Matreya's Day 2023, also known as Sarvodaya Day, observed across India? So the options are 29 January 2023, 31st January 2023, 27 January 2023, 30th January 2023, 28 January 2023. So the correct answer is option 4, 30th January 2023. So the Matrayam's Day, also known as Sarvodayam Day or Shahid Divas, is annually observed across India on 30th January to pay tribute to all those who sacrificed their life for India. The day also marks the death anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi, who was formerly called Bapu. 30th January 2023 marks the 75th anniversary of Martyrdom Day of Mahatma Gandhi. An important thing to note here is that the Sarvodaya Day, also known as the Shahid Divas, is also observed across India on March 23rd to commemorate the sacrifice of three young freedom fighters, Bhagat Singh, Shivram Rajguru, Sukhdev Thapar. The 23rd March marks the 92nd death anniversary of three freedom fighters. So now let's look at the next question. So this is the last question for the day. 20th question is, which state's road transportation corporation has recently signed an MOU with Nalsoft Private Limited for implementation of enterprise resource planning? So the options are option 1 Andhra Pradesh, option 2 Telangana, option 3 Karnataka, option 4 Tamil Nadu, option 5 Jharkhand. So the correct answer is option 2 Telangana. So now let's look at the explanation. The Telangana State Road Transportation Corporation signed an MOU with Nalsoft Private Limited for enterprise resource planning implementation. The TSRC is the first state road transportation corporation undertaking in India to commission and implement ERP. So, over 10,000 vehicles are in TSRTC's fleet and 47,528 employees, of whom 37,000 are drivers and conductors, and the rest are mechanics, overseen by 200 officers. These people are being overseen by 200 officers. The TSRTC manages around 45 lakh passengers, among whom 30 lakh are fare paying and 15 lakh have bus pass holders, traveling 32 million kilometer daily across 99 depots, 364 bus stops and 3000 routes. So that's it. We are done with today's question. So I'll meet you tomorrow. Till then, eat well, sleep well, study well. I'll meet you in my next video. Bye bye.